Young. Vicki, this is really all about what's going on in hospitals, and you've chosen, I think, the Mail on Sunday to start with.
Yeah, and these stories everywhere, we've been broadcasting them and they're in the papers as well about what's going on in hospitals, because, of course, this is about reducing deaths, but also about, as we've said before, protecting the NHS. And the problem now is that, particularly starting in the London and the South East, a new variant of the virus is spreading much more quickly. And if you look at some of the positivity rates, the percentage of tests coming back positive in London has reached 24%. So this isn't about more
Problems spreading across the rest of the country at the moment.
And that is the real issue here, isn't it? At the moment, yes, London and the South East. Is there any suggestion that it's not going to go elsewhere? Now, scientists have already detected the new variant in other parts of the country. And so if it continues to transmit much more quickly, the problem they've got is the restrictions already in place are not keeping the virus down below that.
So more has to change. One of the things, Jane Moore, that may have to change is closing all primary schools as well as secondary schools for the time being. That is a huge and very, very difficult political choice for the Prime Minister, isn't it?
It is, and I suppose that...
Jane, what the government would say is, first of all, it is our absolute intention to keep schools open. That's been their position so far. Yeah. And that this new variant is something they could not have foreseen.
Well, yes, but it's a very...
Is there a danger, do you think, that the government simply loses control of this situation? Andy Burnham, Mayor of Manchester, Greater Manchester, has said that it's really important that either the government allows local authorities like Brighton to close schools, or else makes a very clear decision itself to close schools, goes on to a higher tier level. In other words, Brighton are closing schools. Birmingham, the centre of this, is moving away from the Department of Education and down to the local councils.
Yeah, which I think is probably the right decision.
A hideous political decision for the government, frankly, this. Meanwhile, we're all waiting for the vaccine. And just talk us through the Sunday Times story about postcode lotteries.
Yeah, I mean, this is the positive side of the way out of this, which everyone now realises is going to be the only way out of it, which is the vaccination. How quickly can you get through the numbers required to protect? The good news is that the Oxford AstraZeneca jab, which is coming on stream from tomorrow, doesn't have to be handled in the same way. So it should give more flexibility. But I think what everyone really wants to know, and actually what the Mail on Sunday's got here, is a picture here and going through the whole process of the vaccine. Who's going to get it? When will they get it? It's going to be the big political question for the government in about 6 weeks' time is, will it allow everyone else to go about their business or not? And that's going to be when it gets very difficult for them politically, I think.
And in 6 weeks' time, Vicki, you'll be there to give us the answers, I know. Jane, the other big difficult ethical question, really, is about whether the people who've had the first Pfizer jab, those of virtually everybody who's been vaccinated so far, get the second one. The government are now saying they don't get the second one because they want to spread it more widely, and that will, in the end, save more lives. But again, this is a difficult ethical dilemma, isn't it? Indeed. All right, let's turn finally to Vicki. Another story, Vicki. I'm going to move us away from Brexit and to a related story in a way, which is the future of the Union. We know that there's going to be elections in Scotland early this year, and we know that the SNP is romping ahead in the polls.
Pushing for independence for Scotland are pointing to opinion polls suggesting actually the number backing it is rising. But of course, Brexit as part of that, I think, and COVID in a way, if you look at the way we talk about four nations, in a way we never did before, actually. The leaders of all the nations have had a higher profile, the mighty England, if you like, which always dominates all of that. And a really interesting article here from Alex Massey, and basically, making the point here that Brexit is happening for